Today we're going over Meetings 101, how to save 10 hours per week and cure overwhelm with priority and execution management. So we're going to go through all the different types of meetings that you can run to increase your productivity, save time throughout the week, and stop feeling overwhelmed because you have crystal clear priorities that get repetitively handled and hit on, okay? So as an outcome of today's session, I want you to be thinking, how can I use this information to save me 10 hours a week of back and forth nothingness? How can I use this information to save me from the 20% or so of my week I spend wondering what my priorities are and feeling overwhelmed as a result? And how can I use this information to execute things faster so I can actually reach my goals instead of just keep setting them? Why meetings? Okay. So I want you to think about everything you do throughout a week that requires microseconds of your time and attention. Think about all the little micro things that people come to you for. Think about all the little things that you are the bottleneck for. And picture all of those things being put into one place, right? That's what a successful meeting does. A successful meeting, everyone should write this down, takes the anxieties of an entrepreneur, okay? Takes the anxieties of an entrepreneur and creates insurance policies around them. So a successful meeting should be taking all the things you're anxious about, all the things you feel you're procrastinating on, all the things you feel you're dropping the ball on, all the things you feel you're behind on, everything that you're not doing to your full potential. All of that needs to be put into a recurring meeting. Remember, if it's not recurring, it doesn't exist. The meetings that I'm going to show you today are all recurring-able. New word. All right. So the second point is I want to talk about how meetings can clarify your priorities. The only reason you would ever feel overwhelmed is if you didn't have clear priorities at the front of your head, right? As soon as you lose track of your core priorities, overwhelm is much higher chance to happen. If you're crystal clear on your priorities, so much so that you can just easily say no to things, that's when you know you're getting to the right place. These are the 5 irrefutable laws. I want you guys to print this out before every meeting and ask yourself, are these 5 rules being followed during the meeting? Prepared agenda, purpose, outcome, agenda. Okay, that's all part of the agenda. Purpose is big picture. Purpose of this is to solve our X problem. Outcome is, as a result of this meeting, I'm expecting X deliverable as it pertains to problem Y. Agenda is, now this is the very important part. The important part is you put the top 5 items that you have to go through during this meeting in advance of the meeting so that the team has to go through the most important items. Let's talk about meeting types next. There are retreats. There are business area review meetings. There are finance and profit sharing meetings if you do that, but finance is a good meeting to have in general. Okay. There are EOS meetings or weekly meetings. There are one-on-one weekly meetings. There are strategy or flare meetings. And there are daily huddle meetings. These are the core types of meetings. Now, why am I showing you the types of meetings? I'm showing you them because knowing the type of meeting in advance of the meeting sets proper expectations and makes you not feel like a dummy when the meeting ends and there's no to-do list at the end of it. If it's a strategy flare meeting, label it as that. Starts on time, ends early. I've told you guys all the crazy stuff we do to make this serious, right? We start meetings not at the top of the hour. We start them at odd times. So we start them at like 9:28 or, specific times so that people know like it's a specific time. If someone signs on at 9:28, within the minute of 9:28, they immediately get addressed that day to not let it happen again. Right? So we're not saying you come on during the minute of 9:28. We're saying that the meeting starts. We are kicking off at 9:28. Therefore, you have to be on the meeting by 9:26, 9:27, so you're mentally ready for the meeting. Right? So the speed with which you address this is what trains the team to be on time. 5 minutes early, every meeting should end. So if the scheduled time is 60 minutes, you should discipline yourself with your agenda to end that meeting at 55 minutes. If it's 30, you should discipline yourself to end it at 25 minutes. Again, this shows the severity of showing up on time and the consciousness of the time you're going to put in that meeting. Equal input. We talked about this before. If you're the only one talking at the meeting, the team's going to get burnt out with meetings. If you're the person sitting back, this is why I stopped running our weekly meetings. I no longer will ever run a meeting at our company. Someone else has to be the moderator. Someone else has to be the note taker and timekeeper. Right? Because otherwise, I just cannibalize the conversation with random ADHD ideas. Right? So you want to get equal input. Last but not least, you want a prepared agenda with roles. So who's the runner? Who's the person actually running and moderating the meeting? The person you're most scared about, like clashing with the meeting, have them run it. Just give them the hey, I really want you to run this meeting. They'll go, huh? Me? So whoever you're like, oh, they're not going to like me holding meetings, give them responsibility to run it. Whoever you think's going to, complain about it.